Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about a very important topic for the mains PSIR optional 2026. Okay, so we are talking about Finance Commission, which is one of the important area with regard to your syllabus, and also very important because it has good amount of function, not in the way of what binding in nature, but obviously without this Finance Commission, the taxes that the government of India is collecting cannot be distributed arbitrarily. So the main important work of finance commission, if you talk in a very umbrella way, the main important functions of the finance commission, it is nothing but a checks and balance institution. It is nothing but a checks and balance institution because it checks that whether the executive PM and council of minister is actually not devoluting the taxes according to their will and fancies, okay, according to their own states, and also discriminating or being biased with respect to the other political parties governed state. So this is one of the important thing that you need to understand when you are reading about finance commission. I hope this is all clear to you. Let us discuss, okay, what does the finance commission do, what is composition, what are the challenges, one by one. A very important topic for the upcoming PSIR mains 2026. And also, all those students who are watching me, you can join the PSIR classes. I'm going to be a chief mentor, I'm going to be a chief educator, and I'm going to guide you to score very high in your PSIR optional. Let us start our discussion. Okay, the 16th Finance Commission that we are talking about, because it is very important that it is written in the Constitution every 5 year. A finance commission need to be constituted. Why it is constituted? Because the amount of money, the requirement of the state, the population of the state, okay, the global warming, climate change, as because the various sectors of our economy are undergoing transformation. Okay, so we do require a shift with regard to what we have been implementing, okay, 5 years before. That's the reason every 5th year it is duty of the prime president, not exactly duty, we cannot say that they are accountable for their executive functions. We can say that president has been mandated by the constitution, okay, now to put up okay, constitutive finance commission, which will give recommendations which are always awesome. Okay, the 16th finance commission that we are having, it was chaired by Dr. Arvind Panargriya. Okay, it was constituted for the period, means they have to give the recommendation for April 2026 to March 2031. Very important year. In the lower category examination or lower PSCs, you will find that, okay, the 16th Finance Commission period they may ask you, so make sure that they may twist the months, okay, or they may twist the years. So you should be knowing that the 16th Finance Commission, okay, is giving us recommendation with regard to what, April 2026 to March 2031, which is nothing but a financial year. Okay, what does it do? It mandates what? It mandates what? Distribution of what? Tax revenues. Distribution of tax revenues. Okay, you know that we are in Telangana and we are paying income tax to the central government. How is it possible? Being in Telangana, I am in Telangana, I am breathing the air of Telangana, and using the roads of Telangana, using the services of Telangana, using the water of Telangana, everything. I'm using the resources that I'm living for my livability, for my want, for my luxury. I'm just dependent upon the resources, that is Telangana resources. But when I earn, I'm paying to what? Central government. How this could be a very big mismatch or not? Yes, कहीं पे और खा रहे हैं, okay, खा कहीं और रहे हैं, पैसे किसी और को दे रहे हैं. This is not gonna happen, right? Okay, idi nadvadu. Okay, right or wrong? So it's just like you are staying your mama's home, and you are earning, but mama को पैसे देना नहीं है, कि you are living in his house, you are living and on his he's giving his food, you are giving his shelter, etc., so and so forth. You are not paying them. The moment you got the job, you're paying to your parents. How mama will feel now here? He'll feel very annoyed or not? Yes, that's the reason this is the same case. So constitution of as because many of us and all of us, one or the other day, we all earn income, so it should be very better that if we have if the income tax is collected by one body, which is nothing but central government. So for the convenience point of view, the constitution mandate that this income tax and GST, all other taxes which are very uniform across the country, that should be collected and should be imposed, because in order to make sure that they are convenient to pay, they are simplified to pay, and they are what, uniform uniform across our country. That's the reason the income tax and all other taxes, okay, whatever are uniform, whatever are need require any simplification, transcending the boundaries of the state, all of them are levied and collected by the central government. So obviously, when central government is collecting, then CM Revant Reddy sir will ask for sure, Ji, Prime Minister Modi ji, all money you have taken from us, please give us back, because these guys who are paying you the income tax are actually utilizing the resources of my state. So in order to upkeep my infrastructure, in order to upkeep and maintain the infrastructure, in order to provide them the services of security, okay, safety, etc., so and so forth, I do require money, so that I have to pay to the government staff or not. Yes, that's the reason. That's the reason. Remember this point. Okay, we have the constitution mandate that the finance commission should do what? Okay, whatever the tax revenues the finance commission gets, it has to go and distribute into two levels. Okay, one is what vertical devolution. We don't call it as distribution, we call it as devolution. Devolution, we call it as, one is vertical devolution, another one is horizontal devolution. I hope this is all clear to you. So vertical devolution is nothing but your mom is giving you money. That's called as vertical devolution, right? But the problem here is that your mom and dad does not have only one child, they have many childs. Okay, so first of all, whatever the salaries your dad is getting or your mom is getting, so in that salaries, how much should be given, how much should be earmarked, we call it as what, earmarked for the children's pocket money. That has to be divided or not. Yes, so your mom and dad thinks that, okay, 5,000 will keep aside as a pocket money for the children's. Now this 5,000 whatever is there, no, it is called as vertical devolution. So it means what, whatever the okay, tax revenues the government of India gets, the central government gets, in that some percentage is completely earmarked, is separated, is isolated, is alienated, and that percentage will be decided by the finance commission, and that will be given, okay, that is the amount of money that will be distributed to the state. So this is what has happened. Now what has happened here, okay, one child is living just near, another child is just living little bit farther, another child is living very very farther. One is just like in my place, Limnagar, another one is like high tech city, another one is financial district. So when all of them are not in same transportation distance, obviously the money should be given to them in a different okay amount or not. Yes, that's the reason, as because all the states are not on the same pedestal, all the states are not developed, and every state is having what unbalanced growth is there, unbalanced developmental stages of a state we are having. That's the reason the finance commission also sees that, okay, Telangana should be given this much, UP should be given this much, Assam should be given this much, Gujarat should be given this much, Maharashtra should be given this much. So on the basis of the state a state present condition with regard to their fiscal condition, with regard to their demographic condition, with regard to their poverty condition, etc., so and so forth, taking many criteria into consideration, they will chalk out a formula. In that formula, they will say that if any of the states are meeting of this formula, we will give this much. This is also called as what? Horizontal devolution. So what central government is earmarking the percentage giving to the states, it is called as vertical devolution. And how much to be distributed, okay, among the state, that is called as what? Horizontal distribution. I hope this is all clear to you, my dear students. Let us go ahead and see what else the finance commission will do. As I've told you that they are involved in vertical devolution, they are involved in horizontal devolution, and they also give us principles. Okay, on what principles? Grants in aids are given. Grants in aids are given. Grants is nothing but free money given to the states, okay, because of their particular problem. Maybe they are suffering from maybe the population suffering from very high poverty, severe food security issues are there, okay, women conditions are not good, not health indicators are very bad. So grants in aids, okay, free money given by the central government to the state. Okay, remember this point. And the state don't need to give the money back. This principle is actually governed under a constitution. I guess it is 275 article. Please correct me if I am wrong in the comment section. Then it also talks about local body, how much amount should be given to the panchayat raj institutions, and also what to the municipalities. Then for the disaster management, you know that Assam is battling with very devastated first floods, right or wrong, and every CM, as I've supposed, especially the South Indian CMs, which are having the very well off state, okay, and good contribution to the GDP, please, you can extend your arms. Though it is ruled by the BJP government, does not necessarily mean that on the humanitarian grounds and on the grounds that we are all Indians. So these state CMs should take the cognizance of it and try to donate to the Assam government, okay, so that the relief work will be progressed at a faster pace and the normalization can be restored at the earliest. Okay, Now, it also talks about broader reforms. Also, it will give the whenever it brings out the report, it also talks about some broader reforms that need to be taken care of with regard to what fiscal stability. Okay, how much loan we can borrow, how much ECBs we can do. Okay, what could be the subsidies amount we have to reduce or we have to increase. Welfare schemes, what is the status of them? Whether they are freebies, whether what all we can do with regard to fiscal stability. Subsidies they will talk about, power sector they talk about, and public government, public enterprises, nothing but government institutions like RTC we are having, state finance corporations we are having. So what kind of reforms that they need to bring in order to make sure that these particular areas, okay, yeah, becomes very better and very prudent. Okay, fine. So you can see that these two are basically related to what? Tax devolution. You have to write in your mains examination that Finance Commission generally brings out various functions. Number one, you have to put it as tax devolution. In that you have to write vertical devolution. You have to write what I say is that horizontal devolution. That's the second important heading that you have to create. Grants in aids. Then first of all you have to write the article, okay, which is mandated in the constitution. Then you have to write that, okay, grants in aid should be given for the special category state, etc. So and so forth. Then third one you have to write that local bodies. Local bodies is another recommendation. The fourth one you have to write it broader reforms. Okay, reforms, recommendations. So like that, if you're writing your mains answer, then that is going to give you a good amount of marks in your examination. The commission undertook extensive consultation with the states, union ministries, experts, civil society support. A very important statement. It may come into the examination in the form of what prelims, that the finance commission don't consult at all. Don't consult to any states and give a very unilateral reform report. Means absolutely wrong. They do consult with a lot of states and they have the very broad extensive consultation with the various stakeholders in the government, which include states, which include what union ministries, expert civil societies, supported by commission studies and also international best practices. Also, they will incorporate in the report in order to give the recommendations. Okay, its recommendations aim to balance equity. Equity is nothing but which state should get how much. Okay, the tax distribution, that is only called as equity. Efficiency, with the help of their report, they will try to bring in that the progress in the various work areas should be very efficient and should be completed on time. Sustainability is very important with regard to fiscal federalism. We should not be so debted that we cannot even rise up. That should not be the difference at all. Okay, that's why sustainability is important. For that sustainability, you have to make sure that revenues are always more than what? Expenditure. This is the basic fundamental principle of what? Sustainability. Remember this point. If this is, or else revenues are equal to expenditure, this is also very great. This is also fine. Or revenues are less than expenditure, okay, that is also fine. Revenues are lesser than 2 times lesser than expenditure, okay, fine. But if revenues are very, very, very less, it just does not, it just means that you are getting only 10,000 rupees of salary and your expenditures are like 50,000. So your gone case or not? Yes. But you are having only 10,000 rupees of salary, but your expenditures are 15,000. It's okay. We can manage it. Okay, it's 20,000. We can manage it by borrowing, etc. So and so forth, by selling out our assets, etc. We can manage it. But it is going beyond this level, means the complete family will collapse. In the same way, the economy will also collapse. The state will also collapse. Then the government of India will try to give a bailout, which is not possible in our scenario, because we are always having what? Deficit budget, whether it is in the center or it is in the state. It is in the state. Right. So I hope this is all clear to you. Let us go ahead in our next slide. What do we have? Okay, union finances. Union finances means union is financing, union government is financing itself. How it is financing itself? Okay, it is rising expenditure is there. Rising expenditures are there with the union government because they also have to like take care of our defense, space, and okay, army, military, which are actually non-productive expenditures, but still they have to do it. Okay, subsidies, pressure is there with regard to agriculture, with regard to new global warming. Okay, promises that we have made, panch mitras we have done, itne bade bade khasam khaye hain hum, so obviously subsidies should be given for the electric water motors, etc. So and so forth, battery storage systems, and debt liabilities are there since the time of independence that we have to shrug it off as early as possible, because the more debted you are, the less confidence in your economy by the foreign investors, and that will again start a cycle of what? Unemployment, less production, etc. So and so forth. Okay, so union finance are having what? Rising expenditures are there, subsidy issues are there, debt liabilities are there. Okay, the commission will try to give recommendation on the basis of what? How they can consolidate this financial management. So fiscal consolidation recommendations are given, and our transparent budgeting. So this is when you talk about the state, when you talk about the space, state is also suffering from what? Increasing reliance from the central government. Okay, for the transfer, kab dere paise, when dere, like that. Okay, rising committed committed expenditure. Okay, committed expenditure is expenditure that the state government or central government cannot stock off their expenditure. नहीं नहीं हम नहीं देते, they cannot say like that. Okay, just like now Assam floods are there, if the central government says that नहीं नहीं हम नहीं देते, that is all fine, that is all fine, but they cannot do this stock of this expenditure, which is nothing but in the form of salaries, in the form of pensions, in the form of interest, in the form of interest. You have raised loans, that particular person will grab your collar or not here, so you have to pay that, you have to pay that. That's the reason the state is suffering from these problems. Okay, so Finance Commission will also recommend that which state should actually follow which particular roadmap in order to make sure that this particular issues will be solved or mitigated over a period of time. Then we are having what deficit here. Both union and state faces lots of challenges with regard to meeting the FRBM targets. I have never seen a state or a central government ever met this target. Fiscal Responsible Budget Management Act 2003. It says that debt ratio. It says the expenditure ratio. How should be? It should be debt to GDP ratio. All that they will say primary deficit. Then they talk about effective primary deficit, fiscal deficit, how much should be the targets will be given. We have to achieve the targets. If you're achieving the target, that is only called as what you are doing, actually fiscal consolidation. Otherwise you are actually on the path of what ruining your economy. Off budget borrowings remain a concern. Off budget borrowing is nothing but the budget. In the budget you will say that we'll borrow this, we'll borrow that, we'll say all the things, but all of it is a sudden the central government or the Revanth Reddy sir may say that no, we got a metro should be extended to more 30 kilometers. Okay, for that purpose we have raised loans by giving what state bonds. So this was not discussed, my dear Revanth Reddy sir, in the budget. You did this borrowing of budget borrowing. This is called as what? You don't put it in the budget, but still you are borrowing from the market. That is called as what? Our budget market borrowing. So I hope this is a short lecture that I want to tell to all of you in order to make sure that you have a very good clarity with regard to Finance Commission and its mandate. I'll come with part 2 of this particular Finance Commission. Okay, stay tuned, watching me. Have a nice day. Bye bye.